As you know, rocket videos are a very special occasion on the CodyBPyrotechnics channel. We usually only do a couple videos on rockets a year. We have pretty much every single type of rocket sitting right here on this table. We have everything from the little blue balls to the big blue balls. Also, there's your size reference. Giant silver balls. I mean, this is totally insane. The big salute rockets that shake houses on the 4th of July. Egg rockets. Some of the best rockets ever made. Every single type of strobe rocket on the consumer market. And yes, you heard that right. These are legal strobe rockets, among a whole bunch of other rockets here on this table. And we even have one of these crazy things. This is a rocket volley, one of my new favorites. Just take a look at all these firework rockets, and every single one of them is going up before the end of the video. All right, so this is my table full of firework rockets. This cost me so much money, I don't even want to admit it. So let's start showing you all the individual rocket packs, and then we're gonna shoot them all off once they're set up. I guess we'll start with the biggest. Take a look at these. These ones are called the Knight, and it's a 3-inch ball shell on there. Pretty crazy. To complement that, we also have the big boy rockets. These are another 3-inch ball shell. Take a look at that. I got a pack of the Rocket Man here. You get 6 of those. This is a 2-inch ball for reference. So look at that. These next ones here are called the Lunatic, and just like the Rocket Man, you also get 6 of these. But these have a gold top. Pretty big stuff. All right, we should all know about these unless you've been living under a rock. This is the radioactive rockets, and these, as you know, are some of my favorites on the market. We also have a 4-pack of the Metallica rockets, and these are like close second of my favorite next to the radioactive. We have a whole pack of the Cowboy rocket by Black Cat Fireworks, and we have their pack of Big and Bad here. 6 of those canister shell style rockets with a free launch tube, and for how much I paid for these, you better get a free tube. We have a 5-pack of the original Joker rockets. This is the little blue ones with report. A 4-pack of the 1.5-inch in diameter Devil rocket. So that's 1.5 inch. And look at that next to the 3. This right here is a 4-pack of rockets called Thunder by Hot Brand Fireworks. These ones here are pretty interesting. It's called Space Titan, and inside you get 4 egg-shaped rockets. Now we got some of these new rockets here that come in a box. These are called Wolf Warriors by T-Sky brand. $15 for a pack of 4 of them. And lastly, for the noisy type rockets, these are called Fireball, and you get 4 of them per pack. You know, I can't do a rocket video in 2025 without talking about the strobe rockets. Now, I know this isn't every single one that's on the consumer market. I don't have all of them, unfortunately, but this is what I've got, and I'm pretty happy I have these. As you know, strobe rockets are a type of rocket we couldn't purchase in years past. You had to know a guy who knew how to build them to get them. So it's been really difficult in the past to get your hands on these rockets. Now, if you don't know what a strobe rocket is, I mean, if you're watching my channel, you have to know what they are. But just in case you don't, what differentiates these rockets from normal rockets is that as they fly up into the sky, they make this crazy helicopter sound. Imagine it like this. I'm gonna try to sound like a strobe rocket. Okay, basically a strobe rocket sounds like this. On its way up, it goes pop, 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 pop. And then there's a really loud bang at the end. Let's go back to the table. All right, so this is the Skull Strobe by World Class Fireworks, and that's what it looks like. These ones are actually my favorite. It's called the Flash Rocket, and I like them because they got a report at the end, but that's what this one looks like. Very similar to the one by World Class. All right, Pulse Flash is the smallest strobe rocket on the market. These ones are by T-Sky, and take a look at that. It's like a Texas pop rocket. And finally, we have the first ones I ever purchased. This is called Strobe Rockets by Fox Fireworks. And that's what this one looks like. I would say these are some of the better quality ones. All right, now what the heck is in this box? So this is called the Beautiful Horizon rockets, but something about this looks a little bit off. You might notice it says 25 shots. Now, why the heck would a pack of rockets say shots? Well, that's because if we open this up, you can see that there are 25 rockets inside that are all fused together. You just light this one fuse here and they all come out of there at the same time. This is definitely one of the coolest rocket fireworks I've ever seen in my life. So thank God for items like this. I hope that they start making more rocket barrage packs like this. Even a strobe one would be super cool. All right, so those are my rockets, and here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get every single one of these set up individually. So what we'll do is we'll take one rocket from each pack, demo them one at a time so you can see what they do. And then after we've tested one of each, we will do some barrage firing with the rest of the packs, because I know you guys like that anti-aircraft. All right, well, now that we have all of the firework rockets out of their pack, which, by the way, this took like an hour to do, because on each one of these rockets, there's a little orange thing. It looks like this, and they put that on there so you can't accidentally light the fuse. But we just took off so many of those things that our hands hurt. So now what we're gonna do is get all of these rockets set up in their launch tubes, which I'll show you kind of what we have going over here. So these are all the sticks that came inside the packs. I really hope we have enough of them, but just in case we don't, I did bring out my very own rocket rack that I made. Yeah, the thing sucks, it looks really bad, but it does work. So we're gonna take one rocket from each individual pack, load it into these rocket launchers so we can test out one rocket from each pack individually. And then at the end, we'll start filling these things up with other rockets and do barrages. Well guys, if this doesn't deserve a like, then I don't know what does. This is so absolutely insane that you typically only see stuff like this at the Pyrotechnics Guild International. You never see this from a pyro hobbyist on YouTube. There is not another Firework YouTube channel that does what I do. And guys, I can promise you that doing these videos takes up a lot of my time and costs me a lot of money. So if you like these insane fireworks that I keep shooting off for you every single day, I would truly appreciate a like on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Don't worry if you don't have notifications on. I upload every single day. So yeah, this is just a monster of a rocket line. In fact, I think this is the most rockets we've ever set off consecutively on the channel to date. Now, when it gets a little bit darker out, we'll get back to you and start shooting all these off. All right, we're gonna get started on the firework rockets. Let's start with the little Joker. Nice pop tonight. All right, this is the smaller Black Cat rocket that came inside of the Cowboy pack. Pretty nice. Here goes the bigger of the two rockets in the pack for the Cowboy. Thunder Rocket by Hot Fireworks. Jeez. Big and Bad by Black Cat. Egg-shaped rocket. Can't remember the name on these. Wow, that was nice. Wolf Warrior by T-Sky. Holy crap. Fireball. This will be loud. Wow. Can still hear it. Devil Rocket. That was way louder. Metallica. So far, that was our biggest break. Radioactive. These are some of my favorites. Yeah, look at that, real pretty. Rocket Man, 2-inch blue ball. Wow. Those will set off car alarms. Lunatic, gold top. I think Rocket Man has the edge. This is the smallest strobe rocket on the market, Pulse Flash. I can't believe how high those things go. Strobe rocket, Fox Fireworks. Ooh, that one almost hit the ground. Skull Strobe by World Class. These are new. Not bad. This is the Flash Strobe Rocket plug brand. Jeez. Big Boy 3-inch rocket. Yep, that's the real deal. Large blue ball. This is the Knight 3-inch. That will definitely set off the car alarms. All right, now it's time for the volleys. Here goes 3 jokers. Yeah, I like that. 3 fireball. Jeez. Holy crap. All 3 strobe rockets at the same time. This is gonna be nuts. Oh my God. Wow. Wolf Warrior times 3. Oh no. A little bit too windy for them, I guess. Here goes 3 of the yellow black cats. Nice. And 3 of the egg-shaped rockets. Pretty cool. Here goes 5 of the Big and Bad by Black Cat. Wow. 2 of the Thunder Rocket. So far, I like those the best for the consumer ones. Looks like I missed this one here. We got 1 more of the Thunder Rocket. Beautiful break on those. Here goes the last 4 Black Cat Cowboy Rockets. They all have the same effect. Last 3 Devil Rockets. Jeez. Now we're talking. Metallica times 3. Man, those are nice. Radioactive times 4. Yeah, these are the best color rockets right here. Lunatic times 5. This is gonna be gnarly. Wow, don't get much better than that. Rocket Man times 5. God, just listen to that echo. Big Boy times 2. 3-inch. Yeah, those are like display shells. 3-inch Night times 2. Yeah, those are just all boom. All right, this is the best part. Beautiful Horizon. 25 rocket barrage. Holy crap! Wow. Insane rockets. 10 out of 10. Hope you enjoyed and we'll see you next time. Leave a like.